Hello, this is Steve from Beto's Leatherworks. Today's project is this Florsheim Yuma, Y-U-M-A. This is a pear-shell cordovan. It's been worked on before, but now we're going to dye it black. We're going to resize it. It's a little bit too large on the customer's foot, so we're going to make it fit. And full soles and heels, midsoles, leather heel bases or rubber heels, and make it look like a new shoe. All right, let's get started. These are the model number 97168. They are from, I would say, about 1990. There's another one very similar to this, which doesn't have the black edging. It's got a burgundy edging. And that's a very similar to this one. I can't remember. I think it was a 97300. I'm not really sure what that one was, the model number. But if you go to vcleat.com, vcleat.com, there's all this information on the Florsheims and other new shoes. Speaking of that, I'll show you guys what I'm wearing today. My Florsheim hybrids. They need a little cleaning. Yep. I put a wedge sole on this one. I've got to clean the sucker. Very comfortable. Alrighty, let's break these down and see what we can come up with. Let's continue. I guess they were on there pretty good, huh? Check that out. And we're not going to salvage anything from the bottom because once we resize it, we're going to have to replace the midsole that, well, it's not really, I guess it is a midsole. This particular style is a mock toe style, okay, which means that it doesn't have a Goodyear welt. It's just the simple, the uppers are in two pieces here, 1 and 2. You got the top portion, the toe apron area, and then these sides basically tuck under the bottom, and then the midsole gets stitched on, and then the sole gets stitched onto the midsole. So all that's going to come off. So we're going to replace everything because once it gets resized, it's not going to be, we can't reuse the midsole. So all that will come off. And whoever did this half sole just glued it on there, so there's no stitches to cut. Hopefully it'll just peel right off. Have I told you guys this is one of my favorite shoes? No? Well, it is, I tells you. Even though this wasn't stitched on, it seemed to be glued on pretty good. And there goes the sole. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sand these stitches right here. We'll just peel the midsole off. Let's continue. The midsole is Blake stitched on there. Blake stitching is basically stitching it from the inside. See those black stitches there? Stitching from the inside out. We're going to do the same thing. Once we resize it, we can just kind of do the same job that was done before. A new midsole. Got a fiberglass shank. and a fiberboard base. Now, how do we resize this? And I've done it a few ways. Sometimes the customer wants it wider, sometimes the customer wants it smaller. If we want to do wider, what I normally do is I split this in the middle and open her up just a little bit, depending on what size we're doing. Add a little bit of piece of leather in between there that gives it a little bit of more width, circumference on the inside. Now we're going to make this smaller. So this top binding comes off, this back piece comes off. Of course, these two pieces are stitched together in the middle. Cut those stitches, cut a little piece off, put them back together, and then put a new binding, and then you can resole them. So let's continue. So this gets cut right here. We'll cut a small portion out and restitch this together and reassemble. Let's continue. There are two nylon strands here for reinforcement. So I kept the original one. This goes in the back, on the outside of the shoe. Not on the back, the outside of the shoe. And I'm going to add another one on the inside of the shoe. Now these are covered by the binding, so you're not going to see them. This is basically just a reinforcement so the shoe doesn't lose its shape towards the back of the shoe. Most shoes have, and most shoes have some sort of reinforcement because that's what gives it that structural support. You don't see it, but it's there. That white piece is the heel counter. That's the original piece. We used it. And we'll go ahead and stitch this here. And then we'll put the binding back on. Then we'll get ready to do the bottom. All right. So the binding is done in 2 stitches. First, we put a stitch holding this together, and then this gets folded over, and then it gets stitched right on the edge of the other stitch, going all the way around. Now once we stitch this on, then it'll be ready to be cleaned and dyed, and then continue putting our midsoles, soles, and heels. We're almost done. Let's continue. So one thing I do once I put the midsole on, I take the original sole, I should say original midsole, and cut right at the stitches here. The inside part stitches. These stitches, not the edge stitches. What that's going to give me, that's going to give me a pattern. So once I put this here, I make sure that the stitches are lined up. When I get to restitch it, it's in the same holes, not exactly the same holes, but in the same line where the holes are. That way, when you stitch it, you don't change the size of the shoe, because what happens is if you stitch it too wide, for example, if you stitch it from this line here to here, it makes the circumference smaller on the inside. And you don't want that. You don't want to change that feeling. So that's one way of making sure that it's in the right area where you get to stitch it back. That's what we call a Blake stitch. Yes, sir. Because it stitches from the inside out. You all know what time it is. It's hammer time. Yeah, we didn't do hammer time last time, huh? I know. It was a road trip last time. Man, what a mess Canadian Airlines was. I mean, do I want to go to Canada with the Canadian Airlines again? No. Or Air Canada, whatever the hell you call that. Coming back, our flight was delayed like 3 hours. Every 30 minutes they go, oh, it'll be another 10 minutes. Oh, it's all the weather is kind of bad. Oh, we don't have pilots. We don't have this. I'm like, mother son of a, you know. Finally, after like 3.5 hours, they canceled our flight. Like, God, man. And they're like, oh, go to this area. We'll have rides in the hotel room for you. So finally, after walking, I don't know, 2 miles on the other side of the airport, we finally get to the gate, or not gate, but one of the areas that were taking care of customers. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. I mean, nobody knew what the hell they were doing. We're supposed to be waiting in line to get a hotel room because hotel room and a ride. By the time we got there, oh, we don't have any hotel rooms. We're like, what? What do you mean you don't have any hotel rooms? And then they booked us for another flight next morning, going to Quebec and then coming to Washington, which is 4.5 hours. Now the flight takes like 55 minutes, direct flight from Toronto to Washington, D.C. I'm like, there's no freaking way I'm going to do 4.5 hours on an hour flight. So anyway, we finally got on a direct flight. And now we need a place to sleep. So they're like, oh, you're not eligible for a free hotel room. We're like, you guys are the ones who canceled this freaking flight. And now you're saying you don't have a hotel room. Now you're saying I'm not eligible. Make up your damn minds. Anyway, we kind of had to raise our voice a little bit and say, you know what? This isn't how you treat customers. Let's figure something out, right? So we finally got a hotel room. Didn't get the hotel till like 12 o'clock. Yeah, midnight. We had to be up at 5. And we had to be at the airport by 6 o'clock. And lucky me, my cousin was snoring all night. I'm like, oh my God, can this night get any worse than that it is? Oh! I swear, he snored the whole night. Next day, he's like, yeah, I got some sleep. I go, yeah, you got sleep. I could hear you sleeping. I didn't sleep much. So it was... overall, the trip was wonderful, you know. Got to see my brother-in-law, hung out with him, and went to see some friends. Met Mario for the first time. I've talked to him before. I never really knew him. Never really met him, I should say. I knew Corey. I've met Corey before, and I met Pablo before, but not Mario. Mario was the first time meet. But they're all good guys. We had a great time. We went out to eat and had a beer or two. Just relaxed a little bit. So we had a good time. Overall, the trip was wonderful. Just the way back was just kind of a bitch. But it's okay though. It is what it is. So we got to work about, I was supposed to be in next day. Yeah, early, but of course I was late again. Luckily I have a good boss, you know. He didn't fire me. All right, let's continue. Oh, that's my workload. That's some of my workload. Those are all full soles and heels. Goes around the corner there. And then there's a bunch more. Anyway, let's continue. Some of you may ask why I'm using my hammer handle and what am I doing. With most of my soles, after I stitch them, I sand the bottoms, smooth it out, and then dye them. But this particular one was dyed before we stitched it. So what it does is it leaves a little bit marks on the edges of the sole. You see all those marks? That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to smooth those out. I think it looks much cleaner if it didn't have those marks. Now you can leave them on there. Some people do. It doesn't hurt it. It just aesthetically wise, I like it this way. It's a lot smoother, more finished look. But everybody does it differently. Nice. All right, as you guys can see, we are getting there. Now we'll trim the edges, we'll finish the edges, iron the edges, put the heels on and condition the uppers, and we'll be done. All right, let's continue. All right, welcome back. We are done with another project. I think they turned out pretty good. I love the nice, sleek design of these shoes. I mean, they're so classy, and I think for many years to come, he's going to wear them and enjoy them. And just the final look of that contrast stitching on the bottom of the soles with the green stitching, I think it pops really cool. And they turn out pretty good. I'm very happy with them. All right, well, thanks again. I appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. That does help to generate a little bit more interest to the channel. And I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next project. Take care. All right, so we got a gift from another leather smith. I guess we can call him a leather smith. His name is Alan, and he's from Rustic Reds Leather. I'll put his link on the bio, and maybe you guys can check him out and pay him a little visit. Show him some love. All right, let's see what he's got in here. Or I guess from Rustic Leather, huh? That's kind of cool. All right, let's see what he's got in here. This is very cool. All right, just a little thank you for shopping at Rustic Leather, made in USA. Zoom on that, please, Reza. Oh, geez, man. Oh, my goodness. Lots of cool little stickers, it looks like. Magnets. I can tell they're magnets. Look at that. I'm assuming he's a redhead, huh? Maybe? No? A red rustic? All right, let's see what we got in the box. So far, it's pretty cool. Man, he's got a lot of merch, don't he? Key rings. What is that? Little pins? Coins? I'm getting jealous. Nice. Little, I guess it would be like a keychain almost, huh? Leather for key holder? Key strap? Man, you've outdone yourself, Alan. This wasn't necessary, man. This is too much. A two-way tape. This is kind of cool. I think it's a two-way tape. Bro, what the hell? Thank you, man. I appreciate it. This is too much. You shouldn't have done that. This is a sharpening stone, it looks like. Man, it just keeps on going. He's got his own cloth, too? Cool. That's awesome. Oh, my God. No, dude, this is too much. Come on. Oh. This is an edger, so you guys can see. Oh, my goodness. This is for the edges of the leather. You kind of run it on the edges to round off the edges. Bro, this is too much. This is way too much. What is this one? Oh, I think this is putting... this is putting... Wait. Hell, you got me on this one, bro. You gotta call me on this. I think this is putting dye on the edges. Yes, that's what it is. It's gotta be. Kind of a mystery for a second there. Thought it was like a vape or something. Man, an awl too? Yep, that's an awl. Look at this. It keeps going and going. Bro, you got a lot of merch, man. What the hell? What is this? Oh, maybe this is just a padding? No, something in here. He's got his own bags too. Holy man. Oh, lordy, lordy, lord. Check it out. You like it? Woohoo! Are you zooming in, Reza?
Yes, I did.
Make sure you get that name. Oh my God. Bro, how'd you fit all this in this box? I think that's it. I'm surprised the tissue paper isn't your name, bro. Well, thank you very much, Alan. I appreciate it, man. This is beyond. This is. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to make sure that I put all these to good use, and I'll definitely inquire. No, that's the word I'm looking for, brother. I will put this video along with one of my videos just to give you some exposure. All right, buddy. Thank you so much.